We're live?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everybody. Welcome. At this time, we will reconvene the regular meeting of the Suffern Central Board of Education for September 14th, 2021. Let the record reflect that all board members are currently present. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay. 1.07 minutes of the regular meeting for August 31st. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Donnelly, second.
Second.
Mrs. Hodge. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? All right, now before I go to superintendent comments, I realize that we don't have an item on here for student report.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to add what will then become 1.08, which will be our student report for our first meeting of the school year. We're in session, so please welcome and introduce yourself. And
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm Georgia Canty. I'm a senior at Suffern High School this year. And based on the first 2 days, it's been really great being back. We're all really excited. The school spirit has been so overwhelming. We've loved having unit lunch and seeing every teacher. I know virtual learning was a really hard time for me and my classmates, and already being back the first week, I can see how much everyone's mood has gone up. It's really been amazing, especially with sports being back and we're able to go to support our friends. It's really just great. So Thursday, September 23rd, 6:15 p.m., there will be a 9th grade counselor meet and greet, and then 7 p.m. that same day, meet the teacher for all the students. And then Friday, October 24th, first home varsity football game. We're very excited for that. The cheerleaders are gonna be on the sidelines. I know a bunch of students are coming. It's very, very exciting. Wednesday, September 29th, there's a senior parent night, also very exciting. Friday, October 1st, during unit lunch, we have our club expo, which is every club from Suffern High School gets to have a stand with posters and informational pamphlets, and everyone can go around, figure out what clubs they want to be a part of, what clubs interest them. It's really great to get the freshmen involved, especially freshman year, so they can put that and be involved all throughout their high school experience. And then Saturday, October 2nd, is the SAT exam. So that's pretty much it. So excited to be back. Thank you.
Georgia, thank you.
It really is nice to have an in-person student report. This is the first time that we've had a live student report in probably 18 months or so. So it's great to have everybody back in the room.
Thank you, Georgia. Thank you very much. It's great. Made us happy.
All right. 1.09 superintendent comment.
Hard to top a student comment after that, I have to say, but I'll give it my best shot. Welcome to day 2 of the 21-22 school year. I think as we could all see with Georgia, the look in her eyes, kids are smiling as they're coming into the school buildings. And I know that the board members that were waving to students and welcoming them back to school on Monday saw the glimmer in their eyes, and it's filled with hope and optimism for this year. And each student that I've spoken to has expressed an appreciation for this opportunity to return to a quote-unquote more normal school year. Teachers are engaged with all their classes, students are interacting with each other, and there's definitely a buzz throughout the buildings. School is definitely back. Of course, the opening of the school year is not without its challenges. The regional bus driver shortage has caused us to work closely with our contractor Chestnut Ridge Transportation, and we're taking actionable steps to make improvements. Chestnut Ridge is committed to proactively seeking and hiring new drivers. They are advertising and holding career sessions and fairs, including one this weekend. They'll have a table at the Suffern Street Fair. Suffern Central School District administrators will continue to communicate delays via email and phone to affected families, and we are committed to working on response times. This is not a perfect system. It's a challenge, but we're trying to get better and better with this as every day goes by. All teachers and staff are aware of the transportation challenges that we're experiencing, and there will be no impact for students with regards to their academic expectations due to a tardy bus. On a much lighter note, action is back on our fields, our courts, tracks, and pool. All of our fall sports teams have full seasons, and fall sports are actually taking place in the fall this year. It's great to have things going on the fields and the courts. Just that energy level is up there again. Vaccination and testing protocols for staff members are being finalized this week. Staff members who are vaccinated may provide proof of vaccination status, while other staff members will be expected to test for COVID on a weekly basis. More information to follow. Finally, we have a very special guest here this evening. Sandy Jeanette is our Suffern Central School District representative to the Rockland-Bosse's Board of Education, and she is here to provide a report and introduce herself to some of the new board members who she might not know so well. So, Ms. Jeanette, if you don't mind coming up to the podium, we welcome you.
Now, you might not hear this part, but as a former educator, I give things out. Nothing but homework, but. Jennifer?
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy.
This way, follow along. I do not want for you.
Wow, good God.
That's great.
What a course.
Your tax dollars at work.
That's right.
Here you go. Now, of course, I don't teach you the rule is you don't give people anything out right away because then they look at it and they don't pay attention to you. But
I will always pay attention
thank you, Paul. And I have one for myself and sorry, me. Okay. Now I'm going to go over there and take advantage of the podium because I can put this down. Okay. Short I am. Okay. First of all, my name is Sandy Jeanette, and I want to give you a little background about myself for those of you who don't know me. From 1989 to 98, I was on the Suffern Central Board. It wasn't called Suffern Central, but I was still on the board. Before that, I worked for the district in the middle school and the high school. That's how I know Jennifer over there. And I've been on the Rockland-Bosse's Board representing Suffern since 2007. What I want to do is give you a little background. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I see you have a very full agenda. But I wanted to talk mainly about, you probably know it already, but the concept of BOCES. BOCES was created as a concept in 1948. It's in your packet. All across New York State, there are 37 BOCES in the state. Now, when you talk about BOCES, which is the Board of Cooperative Educational Services, what I like to look at as a cooperative is the benefits of any kind of cooperative. You know, you've seen supermarket cooperatives or child care cooperatives, and the benefit of a cooperative are twofold depending on who's using the services. One, you can have access to services that you would not ordinarily be able to access. And two, if it's really good and works well, it will save you money as well. So Rockland-Bosse's provides those 2 points, saving money to school districts, and of course Suffern Central as well, and also providing services that if you had to contract out separately would be a lot more costly and duplicated. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you what's in here, and then you can look at it. Oops, that shouldn't fall on the floor because that's my cheat sheet. I have the mission statement for Rockland-Bosse's is to prepare diverse populations for roles in the global economy, provide cost-effective shared services to school districts, and initiate collaboration to close the gaps in student achievement. That's our mission statement. It's also on our website, and we try to stay as close to that as possible, ranging from all the way from our special ed to our adult ed services. So on the first page, the first thing is, what is a COSER? And it's a state, I'm going to read it out loud because the audience over there or the microphone on the taping can't hear that. So it's a state-approved cooperative service agreement to establish a shared service between the BOCES and 2 or more districts, provided at the request of the component districts to respond to an established need and must be shared. So this book that you have in here on the right-hand side, which is our student guide, you'll see it says 21-22 guide. That's for this school year. If you open it, and I just want to anticipate people who are going to read it in great detail, on the inside front cover, where it talks about central administration and our Board of Education, we have new people in central administration, and we have new board members since this was printed. So you might ask why, and I did, of course, last year, and that's because this guide comes out in December of every year. And it comes out and all the districts get it, and the districts have till the middle of January of any given year to look through the guide to see what services they're interested in, and to let Rockland BOCES know by then what you'd like for the following year. So in our year now, 21-22, we are now providing to the different districts the services that you contracted and asked for in January. So that's why these services are current, but the administration changed in July. This page on the right-hand side, remember I talked about services that you might not be able to get anywhere else, plus saving money. So if you look at this, it's kind of a busy piece of paper, but basically on the bottom, this is specific to Suffern Central. This is the last time we had figures for 19 to 2020. You know, we're in the process of preparing 20 to 21, but the papers weren't ready in time for tonight. So I said I didn't really want to wait. I just wanted to meet you all. So the net savings to the district that year were 52%. So you had a net cost of $2.5 million, where on the top, it would have been twice as much. It would have been over $5 million. So by contracting with BOCES and getting the aid and applying for the things that, the processes that a board and an administration do, you can save money. Now, on the left-hand side, we offer a great deal of professional development to your staff. Really very comprehensive. And so that I would like you to just look at that at your leisure. And something that maybe is not as widely known under the school library system on the right there, I highlighted for myself, that allows participating school districts to purchase library materials for cooperative collection development for their library media centers. And to facilitate the sharing of materials, Rockland BOCES offers point-to-point courier service for the pickup and delivery of interlibrary loan material. So it's really a full service. And that is one of the reasons I'm reading that. I know you can read yourself, but for the benefit of the listening audience, so to speak, I wanted to let you know. Now, the last two things I want to talk to you about our Rockland BOCES career and technical education, which in that big fat guide, there's everything, automotive, cosmetology, health sciences, everything. What's nice about the at a glance table on the left is that it says dual credit courses. Students earn both high school and college credits simultaneously. Students receive a college transcript upon completion of the CTEC course. And some of these programs have an additional benefit where you are also industry certified, is like we like to call it. So that when you finish cosmetology or automotive, You will also certify in the industry of your choice, and it's much easier to get employment when you finish. Behind that is specific table just for Suffern, and we're very, very excited about this. This was only prepared yesterday with some new information that I think you'll find of interest as well. There's 2 programs listed on this sheet. At the top says CT data, okay? The CSP at the top where it says animal services, building services, etc. The CSP stands for Career Services Program. It's a 9 to 12, grades 9 to 12 programs for students with special needs so that they can receive career training for a variety of workplace opportunities. Now, last year, you had 3 students enrolled in that program. As of yesterday, you have 10, which is really nice. In the below, CTE, Career and Technical Education, from Allied Health all the way down to plumbing, last year, that ended in June, you had 28 students enrolled in grade 11 and 26 in grade 12. Right now, you have a total of 70 students enrolled in this program as of yesterday. So it's growing, and students and their parents and the administration is seeing the advantages of that. The last thing, so I'll probably have on my 5 minutes, I'm talking as fast as I can. I wish I were taller. It is our P-Tech program, which is a fairly new program that started a few years ago with maybe 25 students. It's up to over 100 students. And P-Tech stands for Pathways in Technology, Early College, High School. And it has its own campus in the county, and it's a 6-year integrated program which combines high school and college career training. And it focuses on the STEM pathways: science, technology, engineering, and math. And what I circled here for myself is that students have the opportunity to graduate when they finish the 6-year program with an associate degree or an associate in applied sciences degree at no cost, and will be the first in line for jobs with participating businesses. And the reason I read that out loud is participating businesses. If you go on the Rockland BOCES website, rocklandboces.org, I think it is. Sometimes I do our BOCES and I get something totally different. But if you scroll down and you navigate the site, you will see the partners. Wicks Arborist is one. There's about 36 partners in the county. And what our former district superintendent liked to say, which she felt was the greatest value of Rockland BOCES, is that it is the employment engine for Rockland County. When people finish, when young people finish these programs and can go out and go to Volvo or, start their own salon or whatever they want to do, it really lifts up the economy, and there's a steady influx of qualified young people to go right back into the community that we've invested the time in. So that's all I have to say. I put I call it my business card. It's my BOCES card. If you have any questions and you want to email me with those questions, if I can't answer them, I will talk to Dr. Sarah Chauncey, our district superintendent, or Kim Bell from our CTEC program, and I'll make sure that you have the answers. And I want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much for coming.
I have an extra copy here, if anybody. More cheap sheet, but doesn't matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sandy.
Sandy. Thank you. Always wonderful to hear about BOCES and programs and everything we do everything they do to help support us. And it's always a pleasure to see Sandy. Was there anything else for your comments, or?
My comments are finished.
Comments are finished. All right. 1.09, public participation. This is public participation on action items only. So if we have anybody who wishes to speak on action items.
1.10.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, it is technically 1.10. You're right, my mistake. Seeing as there is no participation, we'll close this portion of the meeting and move to action items. So tonight we have action items 2.01 through 2.11. And I would call for a consent agenda. So if there is anything that anybody wishes to pull at this time, please say so. Okay. Then I will call for a consent agenda for action items 2.01 through 2.11. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Mr. Shapiro, second.
Second.
Mr. Donnelly. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you very much. Now we're gonna skip a whole bunch of stuff, because we have no reports, no information, no discussion. We're gonna go right to board member comments. So if there's anybody who has board member comments at this time. Mr. Fraser?
I guess I'll start, yes. As Dr. Gunderson said, it was very, very exciting to stand in front of Suffern High School and then later on in front of Sloatsburg Elementary School to welcome teachers, staff, administrators, and the students, including the security team. It was really, really a pleasure standing there to see the excitement in the kids' face and in the eyes. And at one point, I looked over at Dr. Gunderson and said, you know, I think they don't even see us standing here. They're so excited about getting into this building. These kids are not even looking at us. But I would stand corrected, because later on in the day, I went over to Ace Hardware to pick up a few things, and I pulled into the parking lot. I'd already changed clothes. I didn't have my blue jacket on. And two young men pulled up beside me. They went in the store ahead of me, but they were looking at me when I was sitting in my car. And they got to the door of Ace Hardware and they turned around and they said, "Were you at Suffern High School this morning? Were you wearing a blue jacket?" "Oh man, are you a teacher there?" No, I'm a board member. And they said, "Well, thank you so much for cheering us on as we walked in to the school." He said, "It meant a lot." And he said, "By the way, what's up with the masks? You guys gonna change that policy as a board member?" I said, "You gotta follow the signs, keep wearing your mask." So also when we went over to Sloatsburg Elementary School, it was a different scenario. That the young kids were all just really attuned to us being there. It was great. Dr. Castellane and his staff were very, very energetic as well. We get to tour some of the classrooms. The teachers are doing a wonderful job at all the schools. And again, I'm wishing and hoping everyone has a safe and fun 2021-2022 school year. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Nice, Dad.
Thank you for those comments. Any other? Mr. Shapiro? Yep.
Yes. It's on. Getting to Suffern High at about 10 to 7 yesterday morning, I felt like it was 7 years ago when I was at Suffern High, but working. So this is better. After going inside and greeting some of the people who somehow still remembered me, I don't know how they remembered me, but whatever. It was great standing outside with Dr. Gunderson and Darrell and just really seeing these young men and women coming in and really being thrilled. And I knew ahead of time that the seniors were going to be wearing white, so if there were any students who had white shirts on, or white shirts and or white pants or white shorts or whatever, those were the seniors, because it was that was their statement. you're a senior, you're gonna wear white on day one. So, the students came in, it's a little bit different from the elementary school, from going to Sloatsburg. Their excitement is, they're really excited like this, but of course, if you're 17, 16, 18, you have to be a little bit cooler, I guess. Do they still use that word? I have no idea. But the students were excited. And of course, seeing the staff come into the buildings, they were just as excited. And at the elementary school, seeing the parents, for some of them, this is their first child going to school, and they were a little bit nervous, and that's normal. First day of anything, first day of a new job, first day at school, it's okay to be nervous. So if the child was a little nervous, the parent was a little nervous. And if the child was pretty easygoing about it, the parent was still nervous. It really didn't matter. But it was great to see everyone. There was a whole positive feeling at both the elementary and of course the high school. And it is going to be a terrific year. We just hope that, as Darryl said, we hope that everyone is going to be safe and it's going to be a complete year. And there'll be some, bumps in the road, because there are always bumps in the road, no matter what. But we have great staff and great community people, great parents, and we're just hoping that this is just going to be a terrific year. So those are my comments. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Good. All right, I'll just echo, Mr. Shapiro and Mr. Fraser, and say just how great it is to be back in person and to have all of our students back full time. And I think that everybody's excited, from the kids, the teachers, the parents. Everybody really feels like, I guess maybe like a weight is lifted. We're back in the class and we get to see each other again. There's masks, yes, and there might be some spacing requirements, but all the feedback and all the online images that the district has put out on Facebook and on Twitter and everything else have really just been fantastic. So I want to say that I wish everybody a great year, but I also want to say thank you to administration and to all the buildings for getting ready, to start the year, and for having the protocols and the proper practices in place and rolling everything out effectively and efficiently, and for bringing everybody back and making it feel normal again. So just want to say thank you, and I wish everybody a great year. And on that note, we'll close board comments. So public participation. This is public participation for any district-related business. If you would like to speak on district-related matters, please step to the podium. And please do not mention district personnel or student names, and please try and keep comments to 3 minutes. And in the past, we've struggled with the 3-minute rule, because it's hard to interrupt somebody when they're passionate.
We try.
I know you do.
We try.
What I'm going to ask is this: to try something maybe a little different, and you tell me if it works, because I hate to have to interrupt. If I just held up like that, just so you're.
I saw you last time.
Okay.
I did.
Is that fair, or is that
That's fair.
okay?
It's extremely fair.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay. I wanted to say, first of all, my daughter is extremely happy to be back in school. Okay. Yes, the parents are very happy to have our kids back in school, but we are also very scared. Okay. And a couple of things in the letter that came out with the quarantine rules and all the going back to school rules that we went through, and had a couple questions and concerns regarding all of this. And one of the main things that we were looking at as parents, a couple of us, in the quarantine requirements. Okay, so it very clearly stated that if students were within 3 feet, but everyone's wearing a properly fitted mask, which everyone's required to, it is not considered a direct contact for quarantine if a child is positive. Okay, then below it, it says, please note, if an individual is quarantined due to a school-related exposure, a remote learning option will be provided during quarantine. We need clarification on this, because we already have sports-related quarantines that are about to happen, okay, from not after-school activities, out-of-school sport activities. I know parents tonight that got emails from their child sports teams that a child has tested positive and their child is now quarantined. So now they're all wondering, well, there's this little italic print. Does my kid get to sign into remote? So we need a little clarification on these things, on who's allowed to access. I still think that remote learning should be allowed for the kids that are being urged and directed to stay home when they have any kind of an illness. Okay, that they shouldn't be discriminated or rejected from signing into remote learning. Okay, they should still be able to access class while doing the right thing and staying home if they have a cough or they have a runny nose, because everything for COVID is different. Okay, the other thing that really kind of bothered me personally within here is your quarantine protocols that are outlined very nicely in your 3-section area, was for vaccinated students that do not have symptoms. It has been well proven that you can be vaccinated and still contract COVID, and you can still be positive and not even know it with no symptoms. My father and sister had COVID and had no idea they had it, okay, until they went and got tested because somebody called them. Now, not requiring a test for this child to go back to class, I think is irresponsible, okay, because you could very well still have it and be going to class with no symptoms and spreading it to all those other kids that are not vaccinated. Okay, the only ones that are requiring a test here are the vaccinated kids with symptoms. I think it would be a very smart, safe move to require a test for a vaccinated student without symptoms before allowing them back into class. Again, just my opinion. I think all the rest of it, it's outlined here, is quite nice. Another comment that I have is I did email the attendance office at the middle school, wondering how many days are the kids allowed to be absent. I don't know, my kid's new to the school, never been in middle school. It's not on the website. It outlines what kinds of absences, but not how many. And what happens if they go over those absences? What are the penalties for this? Okay, so I did email them, I got no response. I did also send an email asking for a reason as to why remote cannot be offered to sick children, and I also got no response. Wasn't happy about that. Took the time to write the email. It's a simple question, would have liked a response. So those are the points I wanted to bring up today. And one other thing, I'm sorry, I know my 3 minutes. If your child does end up on quarantine for something outside of school, how do you report it to the school, and which department do you report it to? Not in this email. We were all wondering that tonight. Not my child, thank God, but other ones are all scrambling, going, is it the nurse, is it the guidance? So something else that needs to be addressed to the parents. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. Seeing as there are no other people in attendance, I will close this portion of the meeting. Superintendent, closing comments?
I have nothing further to add.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Motion.
Mr. Frazier, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Donnelly. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you all very much. Again, welcome back. And our next meeting is in 3 weeks. It is Tuesday, October 5th. So have a great few weeks, and we'll be back then.